I am Ernesto Che Guevara, a name that has become synonymous with revolution and defiance against imperialism. Born into a middle-class family in Argentina, I pursued a path that took me far from the comforts of my upbringing and into the heart of revolutionary struggle. My life was a tapestry of experiences that shaped my unwavering commitment to social justice, equality, and the liberation of oppressed peoples. This is my story, a journey through the triumphs and tribulations of a revolutionary dedicated to changing the world. I was born on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, Argentina, into a family of Spanish and Irish descent. My parents, Ernesto Guevara Lynch and Celia de la Serna y Llosa, instilled in me a sense of adventure and intellectual curiosity. Despite suffering from asthma, which plagued me throughout my life, I was an avid athlete and excelled academically. My early exposure to political discussions and literature in my home, combined with my medical studies at the University of Buenos Aires, fueled my growing awareness of social injustices and economic disparities in Latin America. In 1952, during my third year of medical school, I embarked on a journey that would change my life forever. Along with my friend Alberto Granado, I traveled across South America on a motorcycle. This 8-month journey, documented in my memoir The Motorcycle Diaries, exposed me to the harsh realities faced by the continent's poorest and most marginalized communities. From the miners in Chile to the lepers in Peru, I witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of poverty, disease, and exploitation. These experiences ignited a burning desire within me to fight for a more just and equitable world. After completing my medical degree in 1953, I traveled to Guatemala, where President Jacobo Arbenz's progressive reforms aimed to reduce foreign control over the country's resources. However, Arbenz's government was overthrown by a CIA-backed coup, reinforcing my belief in the need for armed struggle against imperialism. It was in Mexico City in 1955 that I met Fidel Castro and his group of Cuban exiles who were planning to overthrow the dictator Fulgencio Batista. Drawn to their cause, I joined the 26th of July movement, a decision that set the course for my future as a revolutionary. On December 2, 1956, we landed in Cuba aboard the Granma yacht, but our initial efforts were met with disaster. Out of the 82 men who landed, only a handful survived. We regrouped in the Sierra Maestra Mountains, where we waged a guerrilla war against Batista's forces. As a commander, I led several successful campaigns, earning a reputation for my strategic acumen and uncompromising dedication to the revolutionary cause. By January 1, 1959, our efforts culminated in the triumphant overthrow of Batista, and I marched into Havana as part of the victorious Revolutionary Army. Following the revolution, I took on multiple roles in the new Cuban government. As the president of the National Bank and later the Minister of Industries, I was instrumental in shaping Cuba's economic policies. I oversaw land redistribution, the nationalization of industries, and the implementation of agrarian reforms aimed at reducing poverty and promoting social welfare. Despite facing significant challenges, including economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation, we endeavored to build a society based on socialist principles. My revolutionary spirit was not confined to Cuba. I firmly believed that the struggle against imperialism and exploitation was a global one. In the early 1960s, I traveled extensively, advocating for anti-imperialist movements and offering support to revolutionary groups in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. My writings, including the influential manual Guerrilla Warfare, provided strategic insights and inspiration to insurgents worldwide. However, my efforts to spark revolutions in other countries were met with mixed success, often hindered by local conditions and geopolitical complexities. In 1965, I left Cuba to support the revolutionary struggle in the Congo, inspired by the Lumumbaist movement against Belgian colonialism. However, the mission was fraught with difficulties. including lack of local support and internal divisions. Undeterred, I turned my attention to Bolivia, where I sought to ignite a guerrilla uprising against the military dictatorship of René Barrientos. Despite my best efforts, the Bolivian campaign faced insurmountable challenges, including harsh terrain, insufficient local support, and betrayal. On October 8, 1967, my guerrilla force was ambushed by the Bolivian army, aided by the CIA. I was captured and taken to the village of La Higuera, where I spent my final hours. On October 9th, I was executed by a Bolivian soldier. My death was intended to silence the revolutionary fervor I represented, but instead, it immortalized me as a symbol of resistance and martyrdom. My life was a relentless pursuit of a dream of a world free from oppression, inequality, and imperialist exploitation. From the mountains of Cuba to the jungles of Bolivia, I fought for the rights of the downtrodden and the liberation of the oppressed. While my revolutionary journey was marked by both victories and setbacks, the ideals I championed continued to inspire generations of activists and revolutionaries. My legacy lives on, not only in the annals of history, but in the hearts of those who believe in the possibility of a better, more just world. In the end, it is not the man but the cause that endures, and the struggle for freedom and justice is eternal.
Patria o muerte.